Ooh, fuzzy. All right, better. Okay, so season 3 of Stranger Things. I finished watching it this morning. I kind of held off watching it for almost a week because I knew I was going to binge it and run through it, and I held off for a few days, but I started watching yesterday and finished it this morning, and I am disappointed, to say the least. Oh my god, I don't know. Season 1, of course, was freaking amazing. It was bomb. It was everything. It was fire. It was all of that. And they really put the brothers on the map. And then everybody was excited for season 2. Season 2 comes out. I was disappointed in season 2 because season 1 was such a high that it was like, well, damn, you kind of dropped the ball on this a little bit. And now season 3 is even worse. Like, it's worse than season 2, which I didn't really like season 2. So, season 1 was the Demogorgon, and it came about because people were opening doorways and doing experiments on 11 and kids and blah, blah, blah. And there's this monster that lives in the Upside Down, which is like a dead version of our world. And yeah, they defeated them, but clearly we knew that wasn't the end of it. Now, season 2 gave us the Mind Flayer, which is what we saw, that huge thing that was looming over the town. And it was also with the Demodogs too. And 11 closed the gate, so we thought it was over, but obviously we didn't, because we want more Stranger Things. And now season 3 is with the Mind Flayer again, which is this creature that's able to break himself into multiple pieces. So basically, he's creating an army of himself. And it further lengthens his reach. And basically, he's there to get 11 to kill her because she closed the gate, and he's not trying to have that no more. I was disappointed because they were all scattered this time. It wasn't like season 1, which I loved. You know, they had a group and they were stuck in the group. They did everything as a group and, you know, whatnot. The one thing I did love about season 3 is that they gave the little girl a bigger role, which is the black kid's sister. They gave her a bigger role, and the character was hilarious. And she like stole the whole show to me. It did take place mostly in a mall, but it was the Russians. They had an underground bunker, and they built the mall on top to disguise it because they were trying to reopen the gate that 11 closed, which is so stupid. Like, why would you bring monsters from an unknown world to your own world? Like, clearly that's going to kill everybody, including you. So why would you do that? I never understand in these movies or the shows where the bad guy always trying to bring an even badder guy into their world. Like, you don't even know this thing. You don't even know what it can do. It's going to cause havoc, chaos, kill people, kill you. So it's like, but yeah, anyways, they try to open the gate, and all that does is bring the Mind Flayer into our world, and he's there wreaking havoc, creating his little minions and whatnot. And he's there trying to kill 11 to make sure she doesn't close the gate again. And that's pretty much what it was. It wasn't too much of the sci-fi type thing that we're used to from season 1. Dustin is still hilarious. The other kids were like blah. 11 and Mike are now a thing, and the black kid and Max is a thing. So Will is left out. They even made a hint, or dropped a hint, or said something to have people thinking that little Will is homosexual, which I don't know. I didn't like that because it wasn't like it was put out there in front. It looked like they just kind of stuck it in because it was a hot thing to do, and it'll make them seem cool and on trend and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess he's gay now. Hopper is dead, which I don't understand why they killed this character. He's like basically the only thing Elle had. But if you notice in season 3, he's gotten a little thicker, and that's because he was Hellboy, and you know Hellboy have to be a little beefy. So I'm assuming that's why he's so thick in season 3. Yeah, like I said, he died. Will and Winona and their family is moving, and I guess that's kind of why they had to kill Hopper, because they were kind of having a thing, and if they had a thing, then she would have to stay in town. But yeah, they obviously defeated the Mind Flayer, and business goes back to normal. The armed forces came after they did all the dirty work, and Will and his family packed up and left and took Eleven with them, and yeah, that was it. But they did drop a little mid-credit scene where they show the Russians again in Russia have a little pet-like Demogorgon, and they were using it to kill the prisoners. So I'm hoping there's not a season 4, but they might be setting up for it just in case they want to do a season 4. Like, I was like 1.5 episodes in this season, and then I was like, okay, this has to be the last season, because everything is just so, it wasn't, I don't know, I don't have the words, but it just didn't, it lacked the appeal of the other seasons. You know, so I was like, okay, if this isn't the last episode, then maybe they have one more in them, and that's it. But this potentially is the last season. I'm hoping it's the last season, because it's crap. 11 moved away, and there's no way that they're gonna fly to Russia to kill the Demogorgon, or they're gonna come back and you know, maybe it'll come back on like one of their holiday visiting trips or whatever. But I don't think they should have a season 4. Like Stranger Things, when it came out, it was like high up there. It like came out the same time as the OA, but I didn't watch the OA right away. I watched Stranger Things because someone recommended it. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And it blew my mind. And it was up there. It's probably like my #1 show. And then the OA came. Then I watched the OA, and I was, my eyes were like, bam. OA is the shiz. Like, if I had to rank all my shows, the OA is #1. That's it, definite. There's no knocking them off. Season 2 was amazeballs. It was better than season 1. But season 1 is such a classic. It's like they got you to believe in something that they couldn't prove. Like the whole season, there's no proof of any of this. And then, you know, you just had to have that belief in you. And then season 2 was more of, you know, there's the proof right there. You know, I've jumped here and jumped there, and it was reassuring you. And then I know season 3 is going to be amazing, because it's getting better. So after the OA, I would have to say Dark is my next, is #2. It's amazing. Season 2 is bomb. But there was proof of it right in your eyes. Then maybe Castle Rock. As far as, you know, my sci-fi weird monsters type shows. In Castle Rock, then I really can't think of any other, so I'm just gonna say Stranger Things. Yeah, so my top 4, something will probably come and knock Stranger Things off, because it was just trash. Like, it was 8 episodes and I blew through them so quickly. I was not sitting on the edge of my seat. I was like, okay, come on. Like, I literally was on my phone playing games because it was just so lackluster, you know. It still had the humor and all of that, which I liked. And the kids are great. It's just, as far as the storyline and the big action and stuff, that wasn't it. Like, I'd give it maybe a 1.25 or 1.5 to be nice, but it's definitely gonna be the last season, and they need to make it the last season.